Public comment. I don't know if we've got a list, but just.
Nobody signed it.
Okay.
Approve the agenda first?
Yeah, that probably would help, wouldn't it? Need a motion to, or approval of the agenda?
Got a discussion here with that first.
Okay.
Item number 1, approval of minutes by consent agenda.
We're not gonna do that tonight,
Okay,
we're just gonna table that.
okay,
We're gonna do that next.
I'm happy with that. Number 4,
She's printing it off right now.
did we not already act on that?
We approved the payment, but we have to approve the settlement for the attorney.
Number 3, what we're discussing is to have a third signature person, right? Not a
Yes.
third signature on all the documents.
Yes, third signature on the documents, on park documents.
A third signer, not a
Right,
place.
right, you're right, a third signer.
Well, I just want to make it clear
Yes,
to everybody that
Yes,
could
it's
be.
not about, yeah.
It's not
we
having
need
a third signature, it's to have a
Yeah.
third signer.
Had somebody else that can sign the documents.
Right.
Right now, we're without them.
Right.
Any other question or comments?
No.
Well, when it comes to that item, is that something that it's imperative for us to act upon at this meeting?
No, we can do it next. They just, the attorney asked for it to put that on there.
Okay, well, with a special board meeting, I wouldn't think general information, general business would be addressed. And it's my understanding that should run through the policy committee before it hits
What's that?
the board. This number 3, this discussion go for additional signature.
Well, I think the reason it's on there is because if we run out of time, all of us that are already signing have to go all back in and have ourselves, we have to put everything back, we have to all go back in. So the reason being to try to get jump started on that is that if down the road we don't have Charity's signature, then we're down to 1, and so it's just gonna take longer to get somebody to be here to be able to have 2 signatures.
It's really not an additional signature,
It's
an
not to
option,
be
it's an
permanent,
optional,
it's
it's an optional person to sign.
Another person to be on board,
Okay, but
time being.
there again, is that a
better,
topic for a special board
You
meeting?
know,
When-
not if you wanna wait.
That would be my
Not
suggestion.
have,
Give
not
us time
have
to
someone
consider it.
available to sign.
You know, from this here, I can only guess what we were talking about. And I don't think it's fair to any of us to come in, and I've got 2 or 3 minutes to consider this before we act on it. I'd like a little bit of time to consider it and know exactly what we're talking about here.
It's really not that big of a deal.
Okay.
You gotta have 2 people sign the check. Without Charity, that only leaves 2 people. And if one of them, those guys are traveling or out of town,
Then we can't.
then
pay.
we can't pay anybody what they got coming.
Can't even have a paycheck.
Right.
Okay, well. That's my objection to acting on it this meeting. You guys decide what we'll do.
It's open for discussion, gentlemen. I don't care one way or the other.
Go ahead.
I think that it should be, because it's, we have to be able to pay people. If one of you 2 gets sick and goes to hospital, we can't write a check.
Well, the vice president is authorized to.
No,
No,
it's
no,
just,
it's not.
Signature on the
it's just
signature
people
card.
on the bank signature
only.
card.
Only.
Excuse me, guys, you're just voting on approving the agenda right now.
Yeah.
Well, I understand.
This is part of the agenda, and we're trying to make it.
You can address it when you get to that item.
I'm
I'll make a
looking
motion to
for,
approve the agenda.
I got a motion. I need a second.
I second it.
I got a second. Further discussion? If not, those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Not one opposed. Okay. All right, now we have public comment. Going once? Going twice? Okay, we're moving on to old business. The minutes by the consent agenda for the special meetings will be discussed next Thursday at the regular board meeting. We'll discuss all of them. So that one will be tabled. Discussion on plan regarding the search hiring of the new executive director. I talked to Mark Badish. He is medically had a hip replaced and gonna be out of town, out of country for the next 30 to 60 days, so he's not interested. I talked to Robin Hall. Their office is swamped and has no time. So,
I spoke to the park guy, Tom.
yeah, Tom Hintz.
He said he would do some searching, but he didn't have any good response.
Who's Tom?
So,
Tom, he runs the park, but
he's the director for State Park.
State Park.
Oh,
he's over that one and maybe another one or two.
Both of their suggestions, as they declined to help us, was to go to the Parks and Recreation, which we are a member of. We've been down that road before, right there.
Are we talking about the IAPD?
We're talking about Illinois Parks Association.
IPDA.
Yeah. No, I don't believe that's the same. So, it's up to you guys, what do you think? I mean, obviously we've got to move forward.
Well, you could start by putting an ad in the paper and see if you get any response that seems fitting.
Well, now the question is, do we want to do it in-house? I guess that's what we got to decide first.
Okay.
The last meeting we had, we kind of thought we'd be better off to have somebody independent outside do it.
You gotta start somewhere,
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just trying to get a feel for it. If we're going to start somewhere, then I think we need to appoint a committee to do it.
okay?
If you want to do it in-house, would you agree or disagree?
I'm not sure what you mean in-house. You mean
Interview everybody.
The board do it.
employees?
Yeah. No, the board do the
Search.
search.
Oh,
That makes sense?
What's this company that you was talking about that they suggested?
We're a member of the Illinois Parks and Recreation.
Okay,
We don't
is
have
that something?
we don't have a plaque on the wall anymore, but we used to have plaques
I
on the
don't
wall.
think you were a member anymore.
I don't know, that's what I'm
I
asking.
think we dropped it,
I think so too, about a year
yes,
ago.
I think we did.
yeah.
Okay, well,
But we
we're
may
not a
have to
member
join
then.
them.
We may have to join, or
No.
they still might help us, it might be a little.
Okay, but is that
more
something we
fees.
take care of,
This is a
the
service.
board?
Yes, it's something that we,
So we could reach out to them and
yeah.
then everybody could vote whether we like the
Yeah.
person or.
Yes, yeah, they bring back recommendations. It just goes to a wider search.
What they would do is advertise, contact. If they got responses, then they would, the other time they screened down to, I think, 3 candidates. And then we interviewed those 3.
Okay, what happened with those 3? Did we use
You
one?
hired one.
Was it any good?
It was
That's
Dennis,
kind of
right?
subjective.
It was Dennis Shiley.
Well, you know,
Well, I mean, you used your own judgment. It was Dennis Shiley, that's who we used.
well, I've heard different things.
I don't think you can judge every situation's different, you know?
They brought us
And,
3
yeah,
though, and
they
we
did.
picked one of
And
the,
we picked the one we wanted.
Well, that sounds reasonable.
but if we're not a member, that's,
Well, it might not take much to.
What are we looking for, would be, are we
Yeah,
looking for a
we should have a-
full-time replacement or
Oh, yeah.
an interim position?
Well, if you go that way, you'll be looking for a full-time.
Full-time.
yeah.
Do we have the luxury of doing that at this point?
We don't have any choice. We have to be selective. I mean,
That's why I wanna start now, so we
we
have a
can
chance.
hire somebody, if anybody's got a recommendation, we can hire somebody as an interim until we get a full-time. We've done that in the past.
Well, why not do both? Why not put an ad in the paper for an interim director that could possibly lead to a full-time and contact IAPD to start a search?
You could expand the search too, you could go,
Yeah, I like that idea. It's, with capping season this close upon us, I think we need somebody here that can answer questions and be responsible to.
and just show up to give people direction.
Okay, so we want to make sure, we want to contact IAPD, right? And may not be using the right acronyms, and if I'm not, I apologize. About the search. I'm hesitant about putting an ad in the paper until we find out what their criteria is. They may not want you to do it
Yeah.
either or. I
You
don't,
remember, it probably took 3 or 4 months.
Oh, yeah.
no, I'm not saying, as far as an interim, I'm okay with that.
That's what I mean.
Okay,
Okay.
looking for an interim.
But I think you'd also wanna put out there the possibility. That doesn't commit you that you're gonna hire an interim, but if you got somebody that was really good,
No, I understand, they can come with,
well, I suppose if IAPD came up with 2 or 3 recommendations, you could include,
yeah, you would throw them into the mix,
you
right?
could throw them into the mix.
So, I just need to know what you guys wanna do. I mean, I'm trying to follow your direction and make sure that everybody's got an input.
Well, that's what I'd like to do.
I reached out,
Advertise for an interim and contact IAPD to,
Agenda says executive director, not an interim.
What?
I just appreciate you stay on point with the special meeting agenda that focuses on the hiring of an executive director, not an interim director. I know it sounds picky, but your agenda on a special meeting can't be waived.
That's true.
so I'm gonna reach out to IAPD and see. We're gonna find out if we are a member. If we are not a member, it's going to be, we'll have to join.
It wasn't that much money, was it?
I don't think it is.
it's,
Come
I think it's couple, no, I think it's more than that.
Several $1,000s to
It's
join
several
IAPD,
thousand bucks.
And the search would probably cost in excess of $3,000.
Yeah, they don't.
So you're thinking $5,000 to get some applications?
That's what it was when we got them.
Well, I don't know if they do it without us being the members and just charge us more to do the search.
I think they probably would.
So it would be less than joining and doing the search.
So anyway, we'll research that and get that back to us, and we'll bring that back to the board.
Thursday.
Okay.
Gotcha.
And let's put on the agenda for next week,
Yeah, for this coming
discussing advertising locally for an interim.
Yeah, interim or full-time.
Okay. Any other questions or comments about the search of hiring the executive director? Comments?
I don't think so until we find out which direction we're going and what it
Okay.
costs.
Okay, now, item 3, discussion and vote for additional signatures on the CCPD documents. And basically what that is, guys, is to be able to have a third person be able to sign the checks.
Available to
Available
sign
to sign
if
the
you
check.
could.
We have to, actually, if we have to vote on that in order to be able to take it back to the bank and to the places, they have to see that resolution as a pass through the board. That's why we have to discuss it. At a
Well, if
higher
we don't
level.
get the ball rolling on it, it'll be 2 months from now, and
Well-
somebody won't be here, and there won't be checks signed. That's how it'll work.
Well, who's willing to do it?
You can't look at this end of the table, we're already hooked.
I don't care.
Excuse me.
You say you'd be available?
Most of the time. I'm 10 minutes from town.
It's fine with me if he's willing.
It's fine with me.
I make a motion that Randy be on the bank card as a third option for signing checks. Third person for signing checks.
I have a motion for Randy. Need a second?
I'll second that.
Got a second? Further discussion? All those in favor?
I,
Opposed? There is none, motion
I
carried.
should abstain, shouldn't I?
Yeah.
no. Oh, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You passed it.
Okay. Oppose it.
Okay, now the Kirk Allen litigation vote and approval, you wanna wait and do that Thursday? I don't have a problem with it.
Is it necessary to do that tonight?
The attorney asked me to put it on there.
Will she be here?
Thursday, I don't know.
Well, considering she's supposed to be, I would rather us wait and do it then.
You guys got a problem with that?
No.
Okay. We'll table that till Thursday. Okay. Okay, executive session. We don't need pending litigation unless somebody knows something I don't know, but we do need about personnel.
All
Okay.
right, I'd like to make a motion then that we move to go into executive session pursuant to section 2C1 to discuss personnel.
I have a motion. Need a second?
Second.
Got a second? Roll call.
Aye, aye.
Like a chip eye.
Step by.
Stone eye.